think
we actually filmed a shadow here.
Yeah.
Didn't we, Luke?
Yeah.
Bringing Luke
You
into
actually
it.
filmed it before?
Yeah, this
We
was
filmed a shadow here.
might have been a year or two ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think first time we came here, second time we came here.
But I've never been somewhere where you see stuff so frequently.
Yeah. And so vividly as
Yeah.
well. Then like me and Hannah were hearing the footsteps on the grass over there, seeing shadows going past the hedge. And then also the moment here was when I was filming Luke because he was looking that way, and I thought I saw two eyes above that gravestone.
Yeah.
And then Jason went over with the EMF meter, and as soon as we got there, EMF spikes.
It was going nuts.
Yeah. Whoa. From standing over there to here, like the atmosphere just went completely. It like someone turned the background sound down.
Yeah.
I guess like it's dead over here, but not like there's nothing. Whoa! What the? Oh man, that was really scary. No, I turned around and there was like a full-on like white person here, just right next to Luke. But like for a second.
You saw a white mist past my head earlier, didn't you, Jace?
Yeah, that was over there.
That wasn't a mist though. That was like a person was there, but like lit up.
Yeah.
Right next to Luke.
For me, the defining moment of that night was seeing what I can only describe as a small, probably about 3 or 4 foot goblin-looking creature. That's the only way I can describe it. You saw exactly the same thing. We were just comparing.
It sounds almost comical.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind how serious the people that know us know how serious we take it. But it looked almost like it was basically a goblin, and it was almost like it was mocking. It was mocking. It was like it was, I'm over here.
Yeah.
You can see me. Kind
But
of.
it didn't move.
Weird.
It didn't move
It was
in a
all
way.
disjointed.
Yeah,
It
disjointed,
was all kind of.
pixelated almost.
Yeah.
It didn't move like any living thing I've seen or any person. It was. It certainly was strange.
It was quick,
moving.
but it was kind of out of phase. Probably the only way I can describe it.
But it
It's
had
kind of
no contacts. You couldn't hear it or anything. It was absolutely silent. Now we have got a number of cameras. Hopefully we'll be able to set one up on a tripod along this path and maybe try and capture a little bit of evidence of that. As you probably know, anyone that works with night vision or infrared cameras, it's difficult to get a broad range of stuff you can see. So people might be watching this and thinking, well, you've seen all these things, how come you've not recorded any? You've got to think, we're standing there constantly with our heads looking around while we're holding a camera, and the camera's only pointing in one direction. So the chance of being able to capture something is very slim. But like I say, we've got some we're going to put on tripods, and hopefully we might be able to angle them in certain ways.
You need to make it sort of
every area covered, really.
120 degrees. So
Yeah.
cover that 360.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, but yeah, we should try and do that.
Just before the investigation, I decided to take James and Jason to one side to discuss a couple of ideas I've had as to why the atmosphere suddenly changed so negative on our last investigation here.
So I've taken you guys over here for a quick chat, and this is a bit I didn't want Sophie to hear because I think me and James have discussed it, but there's 2 ideas I've got as to why the activity suddenly changed.
Okay.
One is that maybe it reaches a certain time in the evening, which was about 10:30, when it just naturally changes for whatever reason. And we'll be able to test that tonight to see if it does happen. And the other thing was, I believe, you challenged it in a certain way.
Put yourself on the cameras. I'm commanding you to do that. Put yourself on the cameras right now.
You demanded that they show themselves, and they sure as hell did. But maybe they didn't like being challenged. And it's one of those two
turning
ideas.
point.
It's about a minute after you.
It's funny,
show.
it's not the first time I've had someone say that to me, that once I do something. I mean, the investigation at Lavenham that I had was when I went into that room and called it a coward. That's when it then said over the thing, don't talk to me like that, really clearly to the guy that was the audio guy. He just went, oh wow.
So what I want to do is wait until about 10:30, see if any of us feel a change. Then I'm going to wait till 1:45.
And I'm going to challenge.
And if you're all right to challenge it, but we're not going to tell Sophie, and I want a sign that we can give each other if we feel the atmosphere changed bad at that point.
I think just a tap on the leg.
2 taps, yeah, if we feel it change. And Sophie,
Thumbs up.
and we'll see if at that particular time, whether it's 10:30 or whether it's after the challenge, that she feels the change.
Soon after this, we prepared our equipment and began our nighttime investigation.